All right, so we're back with another episode of Inkonsistent Podcast. It's your boy Shy Cloud, but you know me as Saint Rayne, and I'm back with my boy AG Dynasty. And how you feeling, man?
Feeling good, bro. I'm glad to be back. It's been a long hiatus.
Yeah, man. I've just been doing some music and also dropped a couple games. Dropped Puzzle Warriors and dropped Ball of Madness, which was actually in collaboration with you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so just took some time to get some games out, but I copped a game recently.
For real. What game you cop?
Let me tell you, it was it's $100 game, deluxe edition.
Of course, it's $100.
And it's a superhero game. I don't want to say it was critically acclaimed, but it was critically reviewed.
All right, yep.
It's not Spider-Man. I haven't caught that yet.
I think I'd take a guess what it is. It's probably a Suicide Squad.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I got Suicide Squad, and I beat it in about a day and a half.
Wow. It's that short?
Yeah. A day and a half. I beat it in a day and a half.
Paid $100 for a day and a half game.
So I didn't pay $100, but if anyone wanted to get the version of the game that I did, you'd have to pay $100. But I did get it on sale for like $40, $49 or something like that.
Okay.
So,
that's true.
But I'm not gonna cap, bro. Like, I really dead ass got the game for Deadshot's fire like Batman suit.
Yeah, his Batman suit is hard.
I'll pull that up because that suit it's really the whole reason I got the game, and it brings up fond memories of another game, which is kind of like what I wanted to kind of talk about in relation to Suicide Squad, which is like it reminds me of Anthem.
Right.
And Deadshot in particular reminds me of Anthem. You can hear him talking in the background. I think that's Brainiac, but Deadshot reminds me of playing Anthem, and like he has the jetpack, the shooting, all of that kind of just came second nature.
Right.
You feel me? And just like Anthem, I feel like this game is gonna have the same exact lifespan. It might honestly be shorter.
It might be shorter. I mean, because I know they dropped that new DLC with Joker. So what'd you think of that?
So I'm playing it now, and it's honestly, well, I wouldn't even call it DLC. Like, to call it DLC, and this is like my issue with live service games, because like this is an update. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
And in any other game, this wouldn't be an issue. You know what I'm saying? Because like this update in Suicide Squad is better as a seasonal update than the updates in Diablo 4. Because I don't like the updates in Diablo 4, because in that game it's like it doesn't count towards your main character. It's in like a side story. It's like, how we were just talking about how we hate the multiverse and all that?
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't say it's a multiverse, it's like here's the main world, and then here's every season is going to be like a new world to play in. Where you start over with a new character. And then nothing carries over, nothing goes back and forth. So every season you start over. And I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not wasting my time. Like, I want to level up a character and then go into something new with my character that I've been working on. So for me, doing seasonal content where it's like, oh, we've updated your world, drop some new stuff in there. There's some time-sensitive stuff where you can get like some Joker stuff, some Scarecrow stuff for this season. And then when the next season starts, you're kitted with some unique stuff. Anyone who missed this season, like, it's cool. The next season's gonna be lit, but get in, play, have fun, whatever. You see, we getting like wrecked right now.
You got fucked up. I don't
even know. I picked the worst spot in the game to land for sure, because boy, they is lighting them up. But the plan for the seasonal stuff doesn't necessarily bother me. But this is not a good game. Like, it's not good, but like I like the game, if that makes sense. Like, I'm capable of liking the game. Yeah. And there's some bias, like the fact that I enjoy playing as a black guy dressed like Batman with some guns and a jetpack.
Yeah.
That's a power fantasy,
Yeah, that's hard.
like wish fulfillment thing going on right there that just can't be replicated. You know what I'm saying? But the story, like I enjoyed the story, to be honest.
What'd you think of that Batman boss fight? Because I actually kind of like that boss.
Yeah, the Batman boss fight was hard. I felt conflicted. Like, this is one of those interesting things I like when a game kind of presents, where it's like, which character do you even want to approach the fight with? You know what I mean? Because you can play the game as any character. You can switch anytime you want. You know what I'm saying? And they have some missions where it's like, oh, this player or this character gets excited for this mission or whatever.
Right.
But for the boss fights, you can, be anyone you want. But in the narrative, there's like beef between characters.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they didn't really like explicitly lead up like who Batman's beef was, but like kind of by like a process of elimination kind of thing. I was like, oh yeah, it has to be Harley. And so like Harley having like the final say on Batman's like future was like, okay, this is crazy. But I also loved like Deadshot and Green Lantern's relationship, even though Green Lantern was like mind controlled and whatever. I actually enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the Flash, Evil Flash, and like Captain Boomerang. I loved it. My little brother plays as Captain Boomerang, so I made him fight the Flash for me, and that was just fun to watch. Like, I actually just thought it was fun. You know what I'm saying? So like the game has a lot of fun, content and like gameplay and all that stuff. But this is just an incomplete game. Like, I don't want to say it's half-assed. It's like half-baked.
Half-baked. Yeah, we were talking about that, right? It's like when you... It seems like the industry likes to put out games and it'll be half-baked and they're like, oh, we'll just add more because it's live service. You know what I'm saying? It sometimes just feels like a cop-out. But yeah, it's just like... The things I like about this game are very surface level. You know what I'm saying? I like DC Comics, so I like this game. You know what I'm saying? I like the way the characters look. I like their character models. I like the animations. They're really good. Like, I would say Suicide Squad has some of the best character models I've seen in a long time.
Right.
Real solid work. But that's that's about it. You know what I'm saying? And the boss battles too. But it's like that's it. It's surface level stuff. Like, and I feel like as consumers we want more nuanced stuff. So.
Yeah, I realized playing Suicide Squad, because like the game I played right before it was Gotham Knights. Right. And I didn't finish Gotham Knights because like that game is for me almost unplayable.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Like that game is almost unplayable. Like, I do not like almost anything about that game except its mission structure.
What about the story? You didn't like the Court of Owls and stuff?
I want to like the Court of Owls because the Court of Owls is cool as fuck, and my introduction to the Court of Owls was like the coolest comic run ever for like younger me. You know what I mean? Like, just a bunch of assassins attacking Batman while he's in his robe sipping coffee. Like, the fuck? And then he like knocks one out, and then they get up like Jason, like they're undead zombies and whatever. Like, you can't kill them, you can't do nothing to them. So Batman's just pulling out lethal moves. And you know what I mean? He's just like, hey, and he puts out the call, and then like everyone all across Gotham has to squad up. Like, the concept of Court of Owls is like some of the coolest shit ever. And no, that game does not.
It's not emulated at all.
Does not emulate it. It doesn't emulate like the need for the Court of Owls, but it's like it shouldn't exist. Like, that game does not need to exist in some weird ways. But like, I don't want to like dog on the designers or the developers or anything like that. And as a designer, I have mad love and appreciation for like the effort and the work that goes into it. But like, every game for me lives or dies on like gameplay. You know what I mean? How does the game play? And why do I keep playing this? You know what I mean? Like, what am I doing this for? Like, why? Am I invested in the story? Am I invested in myself? what is it? Something like either I want to be the best Scorpion player in the game, I want to beat my friends, I want to figure out how the story ends.
Yeah.
Give me something, you know what I mean? That game just fails on a lot of levels for me. For
Right.
this, it's kind of like, I can understand the hate, but like the idea of not wanting to kill the Justice League and having to kill them, and also like every character having like a personal beef, like this is a moment for each one of them, is like I was actually like involved, like, you know what I mean?
That's the one thing, like people were getting angry about the people like, oh, I can't believe the Justice League is killed, or like people was like oh, this they're probably gonna try to do this multiverse type of thing to fix it, and the Justice League is not really dead or something. I like them doing that, like straight up, like go the game is called Kill the Justice. Like if you're gonna go that way, go all the way. You know what I'm saying? So I actually like that.
You know, DC has this bias issue with like a lot of fans, where it's like every successful or potentially successful like DC property has to be like reminiscent of like their imagery of DC in their head or something. You know what I mean? Like, because the Arkham series was like perfect and it came out before the current generation of gamers, so our generation of gamers were definitely like, we were kids when the Arkham series came out.
Right.
So there's that nostalgia caked in with like, we're heavily criticizing whatever happens, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we're like, the audience is not the experts on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we do not dictate what happens to Batman. The motherfucker writing Batman's story and voicing him, they got to do that. That's their job. We just here to, did you feel anything? Like, did you feel something in this story? This is not like the only Batman story, but if it was, did you feel something? Did you take something away from this? Like, how do you feel? And like, that's what we're supposed to be here for. You know what I mean? Like, Harley Quinn and Batman's relationship all these years comes to a head, and the villain is fighting to save the universe, and the hero is leading the charge to destroy it. And it's like, this is a moment for her. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, this sucks if you're a Batman fan, I guess, but like, I'm the biggest Batman fan I know. So it's like, bro, we just had like 60 fucking Batman focused media. Like, bro, if he dies, he dies. Like,
and people were like, oh, I can't believe Kevin Conroy, this is his last, which by the way, it's not his last thing, right? I think he's voicing Batman in a movie that's coming out, some animated movie, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But people were angry that this was going to be his last thing because he passed away, and I was like, he signed on to do this. He knew the story. It's not like he went in blindly, like, it was like, oh, wow.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Like, the only time Kevin Conroy played Batman live action, he played an evil Batman.
He played, which is crazy. That was
in like the worst Batman show,
Crisis of Infinite Earths. Yeah, so
for Batgirl, like, you know what I mean, or something like that. So it's just like, yeah, if the actor, the writers think it's an interesting take, they're gonna take it there. You know what I mean? And this isn't canon. Like, this isn't comic Batman making this decision that's forever going to inform who he is as a person.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's literally just a what if story. It's just what if.
Yeah.
What if Batman went through all this shit and then still fucking got possessed by an alien because he was used to fighting thugs for 40 years.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, bro. Like, people were like, okay, that's fine. But what if they kept this story as like an Elseworlds type of thing and not set it into the Arkhamverse? Like, what do you think about that?
I think that would have been like a no-duh decision. Like, so when I say this game is half-baked, I feel like half of this game is in the Gotham Knights and half of it's here. And I feel like it got like swapped. like some of the good ideas should have been in, like, they should have just been one game. Either that or like something should have just gotten thrown away, because Gotham Knights takes place when Batman died, after Arkham Knight, where everyone else in the real world thought Batman died. So we were like, okay, this makes sense. It's a follow-up. It's like, no, this is
a different universe.
It's a different universe. This is another universe, whatever. And then it's like, okay. And then this one's like, okay, Batman's in the Justice League. He's been in the Justice League for years. He's well known. Everybody knows he's Bruce Wayne. And also now he's evil. You got to go kill him. And it's like, wait, dude, I thought he wasn't dead. He's been in the Justice League. There's a Justice League. What's going on? Like, can we see some of that? Can we? No. Okay, we are killing them. We are killing the Justice League in this game. There is no ways around it. There's no make a decision. It's
correct.
Kill him. Rip. But I'm okay with them putting it in this universe. Like, I'm okay with it. It's just I don't like a lot of the decisions around it.
Yep.
You feel me? And so I want to touch on like the live server stuff real quick. Live servers, as always, killing these games. Gotham Knight is not live service, right? I can turn on Gotham Knight, hop in, and you used to see me just like running around in Gotham Knight just doing whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's kind of like the relaxation part of playing video games and why we make video games in general is like you're supposed to be able to just enjoy it when you're able to enjoy it. You, yourself, right. How you choose to enjoy the game on whatever version is made accessible or whatever. By choosing to make these games live service, developers are writing themselves literally into a financial, literal corner. And on top of that, they're putting players into a corner. I was playing the game, got disconnected mid-flight for no reason. It just had to stop playing. You know what I'm saying? Load into the game with other players, shit is buggy, stop playing. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. And then on top of that, servers cost money to maintain, which means that they have to constantly have an influx of money. They can't just make bank off the game's release like a normal game would. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's a shitty tactic. Now, Suicide Squad is a live service game, but it reminds me a lot of DC Universe Online.
Okay.
To the point where it feels like the sequel I've always wanted from DC, and I'm just like, if you're gonna make a live service game, make a sequel to the best ever MMO on a console that ever figured it out. You know what I mean? That makes sense. And DC Online, like, is all like, yeah, every season we're gonna add this and this and like, it's all about catering. You know what I'm saying? It's all about catering to the people who are playing the game, catering to the people who are just coming into the game for the first time, even though it's been out for decades and all that stuff. And like, get out of the live service mantra that people are currently in and go back to like the original concept of an MMO light.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because MMO light, which is what these games originally were to me, made sense. Where you wanted to make a game that had like a lot of the qualities of an MMO, but MMOs are too much for me. Like, because it's a PC concept, and PCs have like 1,000 keys, and so MMOs like take advantage. Like, there's a key for every power.
Yeah, and they got key bind everything.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's a lot. So a console says, hey, boil all of that down to like 8 buttons, and like, you know what I'm saying? And that's what makes it light. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, we have an MMO concept where it's like, hey, level up, make your character, experience this grand story. And then when it's done, we're going to keep adding expansions. And each expansion is going to be like $40, $50, whatever. But you have the base game, which is good for you and probably other people to hop in and out of. And the thing is that it's like, bro, these are console games. They're not PC games. PCs, you can assume, will be connected to the internet. Consoles, you do not assume that. You know what I mean? Even on the phone, you do not assume there's going to be connection to the internet. And I don't get what this obsession with live servers always online, like, I do not get it, because it is just killing every game it's attached to.
Yeah, it is.
Like, every single game. Like, one of my favorite games of all time was Absolver. And it was an amazing game. Like, that game was so therapeutic. Martial arts, level up your character, learn moves by fighting motherfuckers. Like, you just run up on somebody and they got a punch combo that you've never seen before, and you beat their ass and you learn the combo. Now you just throw that into your deck of fighting, and you just, every move is a button. Like, it's Tekken the RPG. You know what I mean? But you create your combos. But the game was always online. And they dropped like one DLC. It didn't make that much bank. And so like the game went under. And then they dropped Sifu. that was a single player game with none of the amazing qualities of Absolver other than the combat. It just had the combat and like the aging mechanic.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that game like really made bank. I know it got like
That
critically
game,
acclaimed.
yeah, critically acclaimed. I remember that.
I know it got critically acclaimed.
I don't know how much money it made.
I don't know if it made bank.
Yeah.
And there's a difference, you know what I'm saying? Because like even with movies, games, songs, whatever, you can make something for the Oscars, something for a Grammy, whatever, something that can be critically acclaimed. Like it's not that hard to like make something mainstream, you know what I mean? But like to make something that people really culturally like attached to is different because you have to come from the culture.
Yeah.
You have to, you know what I mean? You have to kind of like appreciate it and want that. You have to want to give that more and more and more and more. Like you have to have that much to tell.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's why like World of Warcraft fans and the World of Warcraft creators, they probably die on that fan base, bro. They'll probably die for that shit because it's like they have so much lore, so much reasons. Every expansion is probably like I've never touched World of Warcraft, bro. It's not my shit.
Yeah, I've never played it either.
It's not my shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I've touched like DC Online. You know, I played that. I was there. I'm a DC person, and that's my MMO. Like that's my World of Warcraft. So it's like I'm there for like every story. Every time like they drop anything, I'm like, that's love. You know what I mean? Because I want to experience more and more of this. You know what I mean? That's what an MMO Lite is. That's what these games are supposed to be like emulating. Is the idea of like, okay, this is a console. It's a smaller package. We gotta package these games for like a more streamlined audience, but like we want to still give that same feeling, so we get that same or similar outcome. You know what I mean? It's nothing to drop expansions or whatever. The Joker shit, just a seasonal update. Just a seasonal update. The amount of shit they added was nothing. They didn't add nothing. Just a new world with some Joker themes and whatever. Like it's really cool. It's a seasonal update. Thank God you don't have to pay for it, but you don't have to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta pay for the battle pass.
At least they did that right. But at least you can unlock them properly. Like you don't have to pay for it.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? But like a lot of games die on this always online microtransaction stuff. The Joker thing didn't get good reviews, and there's rumors that they're not because of like that. Their projections for the future probably aren't that great.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's like so does the Joker, does that bring any new story? The Joker DLC, is there any new?
So I have to get to level 35. I'm not level 35 yet.
Alright.
And I know the story's gonna. So the story and like the multiverse is kind of set up where it's like each season you're supposed to kill a certain amount of brainiacs or whatever, right? And that's essentially progressing the story because there's X amount of brainiacs left to kill across the multiverse.
Okay.
So like you kill the one in your universe, but he split himself into like several different pieces, like he's Voldemort, and and you got to go across these universes, and each season is gonna progress that until it wraps up, and you I guess kill the last brainiac. So it should, theoretically, when I finish this, I'll probably know for sure how much the Joker DLC added. But I mean, if people aren't really feeling it, it probably wasn't like a grand vibe or whatever. And from the way the DLC is set up, to get to I have to get to level 35, bro. I'm level like 14 or something like that, and it's like you level up for like one replayable mission, and each replayable mission is basically an Overwatch mission. Does that make sense? Like, you know Overwatch?
No, I've actually never played Overwatch.
You never played Overwatch? Okay, so Overwatch is like an esports kind of thing, right?
Right.
And it's literally just two teams of players, and there's either an objective or like a team deathmatch kind of thing. You just play as some characters. Each character is unique. And then like the objective will be like escort the truck from point A to point B for team A. And team B will be like destroy the truck. Right? Or something like that.
Okay.
Right? So that's 90% of this game.
God damn. So it's just it's like almost roulette based. You just it gives you a random thing, like a random
It's
encounter or whatever.
It's not random. Like I'm gonna show you the map. So like, here's the map, right? Each one of these with the like arrows is going to basically level me up in my fair progress meter, which is what I need to level up to unlock the Joker. So I'm level 13, right? So doing one of these will probably get me to like level 14, and then do another one. So I have to do this 35 times, right? And there's not different ones, and none of these are story related. Like, none of these are story related. They're not unlocked progressively, right? There's no progressive, like, okay, I did this, and then this brought me to this, and then this brings me to this, then this brings me... No, they just... here's the season. These are the missions for the season. And then each one of these, like this... Like, I'm not currently in the Joker world, right? So each one of these, I have to kind of, like, fly to this portal that's going to take me to another universe. And then it starts, and then a timer counts, and you can be in that universe for X amount of time, or complete the mission in X amount of time, or whatever. And it's really just like PvE, a PvE version of Overwatch.
Oh, okay.
Which is fun for mindless shit, and wouldn't be a problem if this was an offline game. It would be like, you know, kind of like Prototype or something, but like it's not the same. Like Prototype, everything is mission based except for the side shit. You know what I mean? Except for like the run across as fast as you can type shit. You know what I mean? And those are just meant to like, hey, this is how you get better at your locomotion, like your movement skills. But yeah, so like you go to one of these portals, brings up a menu. Oh, and you have to pay to do the mission.
What?
But like you pay by using these in-game currency things, right? And to get those in-game currency things, you have to do like these other missions.
Oh, bro. You gotta burn this game. This is terrible, bro. This is way worse than I thought it was. You gotta pay to play a mission? Like, that's crazy, bro.
So it's like it costs a resource. I think it's a resource. And you have to spend a resource to travel between dimensions. I think that's the concept behind it.
Okay.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So like if it was incorporated like Mass Effect, where like you felt that instead of just like what you're about to see, which is what happens. You don't feel like you spent a resource.
Actually, the way the multiverse looks is actually kind of cool because that's the way it looks like in the comic book.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of dope.
Yeah, this game isn't half-assed, just half-baked.
Yeah.
So
this is the Joker world?
Yeah, this is the Joker world.
And you have 10 minutes to complete the mission.
Basically.
Wow.
So, you know, I'm not about to do this shit. But, yeah. So, all in all, the game is fun. The game is fun to play. The gameplay itself is fun, right? Like, Suicide Squad's traversal for each character is different. It feels different. They each have, like, a level of mastery to it that's worth... It's like a personality test, as all video games kind of should be if they're going to do something like that, where it's like, okay, this is more me. This is more me. Like, you can like playing as Harley Quinn just because you prefer swinging. You know what I mean? And compared to Gotham Knights is so ass, bro. It's so ass. Like, with the moving and the traversal, it's all bad. Like, it's just bad. It's really bad. And it's like, they should have put this team on that. They shouldn't have dropped both games. They should have just dropped one game for like 6 years, and then dropped the next game like 6 years later as a sequel.
Okay.
You feel me? Like, Suicide Squad should have been the sequel to Gotham Knights.
Yeah.
If it was gonna happen, if we were gonna have to get 2 games, it should have been the sequel to Gotham Knights, and Gotham Knights should have gotten everything good that's in Suicide Squad.
Okay.
The gameplay should have been in Gotham Knights. The attention to the characters and the love for the fans and all of that, because, boy, Jason Todd is the ugliest motherfucker I've ever seen, bro. Like, I don't understand.
Everyone was making fun of him when it dropped.
They must...
Everyone was like, yo, he looks like an undercover cop.
Bro, like, I don't know which version of Jason Todd they looked at. I'm 100% convinced that they didn't even look at the comics. They looked at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and they literally said, we're going to base these characters off of those motherfuckers. Like, and Jason is just Raphael. So we're gonna make him big and buff and intimidating looking. Like they had no idea who he was as a person. Like if you wanted to make him look different, you could have given him red hair because he's had red hair. You could have given him the black and white hair. You could have made Nightwing tan because Nightwing has like actual minority background history. And since Damian isn't in the game, Nightwing would have been the only tan sidekick person. Batgirl's a girl. Tim is short, so you know what I mean. And
it matches. Yeah.
Tim and Jason and Dig are supposed to look the same, like or close. They're supposed to look almost alike. That's how they're just. Because you were supposed to think like, oh, one Robin and that Robin are the same person. Like a regular criminal shouldn't be able to tell them apart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there has to be like a consistency somewhat to their appearance, except Jason has like white hair or red hair now since he's no longer going by Robin. That game has no love, bro. No love, bro. I just Suicide Squad has potential. It has potential. I think if they focus a lot more on giving that game what makes DC fans and also like gamers happy, because like that's the only two fan base you have to focus on.
Yeah.
Gamers and also DC fans, like people who like DC shit. Okay, you killed Batman. That's like that sucks because they love Kevin Conroy, but if they have an alternate Batman that's voiced by Kevin Conroy or another good Batman actor. Like, Kevin Conroy is not the only Batman actor.
Yeah.
And he's not the only good one. He's not the only amazing one. And he's not the only iconic one. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's one that's attached to all of our childhoods.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's attached to my child. Like, when I read Batman comics, like, I read it in his voice.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But also, like, Jensen Ackles was a good Batman in the recent movie.
Oh, yeah, he's actually a really good Batman. You know what I mean?
Like, there's other people who can... And with having other people play Batman, you have other stories for Batman. You know what I mean? Like, okay, we've had the experienced Batman, What if you take a new guy who thought he had all the time in the world to, like, master being Batman, and, like, no, your universe got destroyed, bro. Bam, now you're here. You're the Batman of this one. The last one died. Some Miles Morales shit, but you're just Batman or whatever. Yeah. Or get, like, a whole other person to be Batman, like Duke Thomas or... There's a black guy being Batman now, I guess. I think his name was like Jace or something like that.
It was, it's Lucius Fox's son, right?
No, that's Batwing.
Oh, it's Batwing?
That's Batwing. Okay. Yeah, that's Luke. I don't know, man. DC's kind of lazy with the black guy names sometimes. They got Luke and they got Duke.
Luke and Lucius.
I mean, hey,
yeah,
but...
That's hilarious.
Yeah, the game has potential, but it's so bare bones right now. It's so bare bones. And I don't think it's going to get past it. I really don't. I hope it does. I would love for it to, but I don't think it's gonna get past whatever they already like have cooked up.
Yeah, I've heard like they're gonna do a Deathstroke DLC, which would be hard as fuck. Deathstroke is like one of my favorite characters.
He's gonna be like season 4 and going into.
I don't think they're gonna get to season 4 though at this rate. So, you know,
if they knew, like, and that's the thing though, because like if they know what's good for them.
They dropped that now.
No, not they'll drop it now. It's not they'll drop it now. This is like, I hate making like innuendo references, but like, you know, sometimes you gotta tease and like take your time with things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't just rush to the end of the movie. Like, you gotta like take your time and build up to it. Like, Deathstroke is one of those characters where it's like, bro, he sells himself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he sells himself. If you say you're dropping Deathstroke, like, half the work is done for you. Now you just got to like, if you had intentions behind him, like, if you already had a story you were going to tell that you thought was good, that's already going to make it even better. And then if you have stuff that you thought the fans were going to love, that makes it even better. And then if he's going to be a playable character, you know what I mean? Like...
Yeah, I just
But they have to have love, bro. Like, there's 2 DLCs before Deathstroke, right? Joker was not a good sign. You know what I'm saying? Like, the character playing and the character design and all that was cool, but like, you gotta you gotta drop. I guess they're doing seasons,
Yeah.
but like you gotta think expansions, right? And DLCs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they gotta at least treat Deathstroke and building up to Deathstroke. Like you wanna make players feel like things are just getting started. You know what I mean? Like, okay, Joker was just a hint. He's really like everything I was saying about Batman really applies to this Joker. Like he's like the newbie. He's a fish out of water or whatever. So he's not the Joker you know, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. These next characters, these next updates or whatever, they got to start building to the Deathstroke, to the to the next season or whatever, and they got to stop worrying about the sales. They got to not worry about the sales. Like they got to actually make something that matters to them. Period. Like, period. They got to drop an expansion. You know what I mean?
I agree, but I don't think they're not being taught to do. Like, I think this is old management. Like, I think this is old management that's telling them to do this stuff. Like, I really don't blame the developers for doing this. Mm-hmm. I think the developers are being forced to do this. You know? Because, like, I think I remember seeing, like, some Rocksteady people, like, were like, yeah, we didn't really want to make a live service game. Mm-hmm. You know? Because they're a single-player studio, bro. Like, a single-story studio, single-campaign studio. Like, so, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they can land that Deathstroke DLC, that'll be dope to see. I want to see them. I want to see them achieve, some greatness. But it's like, if this Joker DLC is anything to say, then I don't know if they can even get to season 4. Like, I don't know.
So, my closeout on that, like my response to that is like, R.I.P. the late and great Akira Toriyama.
Yeah.
But that man had to work under the most studio interference.
Yeah.
This man had several different studios who wanted to keep using his Gokus and Gohans and Vegetas, you know what I'm saying? And he had to keep, like, figuring out how to retain some type of narrative through all of this. With Dragon Ball Z, GT, Super, Heroes, Online, Xenoverse, all of these things that studios want. You know, all these things that... Because studios want to make money.
Yeah.
And studios can only make money by feeding the fans.
Yeah.
Right? So, even if they don't want to admit it, or they, like, whatever, like, the relationship is supposed to be symbiotic. Like, realistically, it's supposed to be symbiotic. It's supposed to be, this guy had a great idea. These people can get it to the people who want it the most. Everybody can eat. You know what I mean? And everybody can enjoy this. You know what I mean? Making Suicide Squad, like, forcing Rocksteady to make Suicide Squad a live service game doesn't have to be, like, a valid criticism. It is a valid criticism. It doesn't have to be.
Okay.
Because any artist or whatever will eventually have to meet some kind of restraint that wasn't for their artist style. Right. You know what I mean? Like, we all have to kind of, like, get out of our comfort zone and step into, like, okay, the fans are playing live service games. How do we make our mark on this?
Yeah.
How do we do this? And they didn't fuck it up. Like, this game isn't bad. You know what I'm saying? It's fun to play. The campaign was good. It had me hooked. Me and my brother took turns playing this. Like, we had a good time. You know what I mean? Like, you can tell the difference between this game and Gotham Knights, bro. Rocksteady knows what they're doing. Right. You know what I mean? It's not like we gotta cut them some slack. Like, they don't know how to make a game, or they're an indie studio and this was hard. Like, no, they fucking cooked. Every character plays differently. Every character has a different style. Where they failed was like the skill tree. The skill tree is ass. It's the same skill tree you see in all the shitty ass live service games. Where they failed was like the repeatable missions. The repeatable missions are ass. It's the same shit you see in other esport games that are just meant to be like played with other people online and streamed. This game is supposed to be streamed. It has like a target market that's meant to like make bank. You know what I mean? As opposed to just having an idea, having constraints, having to reform and reshape the idea within the constraints. Right. You know what I mean? Because when you have to, like, it's a planet. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, humans would love to do whatever the fuck we want on any fucking planet. We love to go wherever and do whatever, but we have a planet that we're stuck on. You know, we have rules and we have gravity. Like, we have to figure out how do we make this work with the constraints. You know what I mean? That's the point. Like, a studio's like, hey man, we know you want to tell this, but we're looking at the future. The future says this is gonna make money.
Mm-hmm.
We're trusting you to do this and make money. Can't even trust the niggas who make Gotham Knight for real. You know, like, we're gonna give them another chance because we saw the reviews after Arkham Origins, which Arkham Origins is a sleeper hit, but it feels and plays completely different. Because going from Arkham Origins to Arkham Knight is going from Gotham Knights to Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
But I would say the gap then is a lot smaller because Arkham Knight was playing in their house, with the exception of the Batmobile criticism and whoever the fuck told him to make the fight with Deathstroke a Batmobile fight, like, he should have been fired.
Bro,
twice. Like,
I was sad about that because when I was playing Arkham Knights, like, I was like, that's it? Like, you just tackle him and then the mission's over. So, yeah.
So, yeah, I think they could have made... I think they can still make a great live service game. I think they can actually make a mark on the live service genre. You know, I'm not saying... Because I don't have beef with live service.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I have issue with the way developers who have the means to make better games and better content that will work, like, it will sell. You know what I mean? Like, you have people who don't know better. And then you have people who do know better. And if you cater to the people who know better, the people who don't know better are already guaranteed. You know what I mean? Like it's a no-brainer.
That's fair.
But instead, you're catering to the people who don't know better. And because you're catering to the people who don't know better, the people who know better are like, yeah, this shit sucks. And the people who don't know better are eventually you're gonna run out because they're not. Who are they playing with? Who's running the missions and making things popular? Who's streaming it? Who's playing this for real? And who are they following? You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're shooting yourself in the foot, and it's like you're doing it with a sniper. And
That's crazy.
And it's like, okay, no, like, hey, just get up. Like, I've been on threads and I've seen some people go crazy. Like, I saw one person go crazy and I was like, oh my god, like, I've seen the touch grass meme before, and like, I've seen people just say it for every situation, but like, in this situation, I really need to tell you, person, to touch grass. Like, studios, go outside, touch grass, stop trying to do this for a minute, just take a deep breath, get out of this race, get out of this whole conversation, just be like, hey, what the fuck were we doing? Like,
yeah,
it's like,
think about this.
It's like everybody was deep in Twitter. Like, you ever just been lost in a Twitter black hole and you're just like, okay, I need to come back from this. Like, I was reading the comments. I was reading the comments to a comment. I need to get out of this. Yeah. Like, I just need to climb back. Like, live service games is like, it's a black hole that's just, okay, how do we do better than that game? Well, that game sucked. So what can you learn? Like, you can't learn anything.
The bar is so low that there's nothing.
Yeah, even a good live service, like, even the good Destiny games. Like, Destiny's good. And that's bad. That's bad. Like, that's bad, bro. $60 DLCs for no maps or rotating maps.
Yeah, they have a crazy amount of DLCs. I don't even know.
But like, Destiny walks that line, you know what I mean, between knowing what they're doing and like studio intervention and indies and all that stuff. We've had that conversation where I'm like, sometimes I'll cut, Bungie slack because of what they're trying to do versus what they have to do. You know what I mean? But like, that's why I say, like, Destiny is good and that's bad, because for the longest time, Destiny was a lot of studio intervention and direction and stuff like that. And Warner Bros. And Rocksteady's probably having that beef because Warner Bros. Has always been kind of like low-key dickheads about their characters and stuff. Yeah. But they would never, like, back in the day, they would never let you kill Batman. So having a game where you kill Batman is like, you can't really tell me Warner Bros. Is that restrictive right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It took them 20 years, but I guess.
It took them 20 years, but like, hey, Marvel did it, they want to do it too, or whatever.
I feel it.
You know what I mean? But like, they have like Rocksteady. I'm not gonna say Rocksteady's better than Square Enix or whoever developed the Avengers game, but like they could make a banger. They could have made a banger. It would have been. It has potential. Like it's right there. Like the game is. It has the potential, but lazy decisions is not gonna win you no awards.
Yeah.
Never will. It never will. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's crazy because like indie developers are having to like make amazing things against all odds.
Yep.
All odds. You know, like one person made Stardew Valley, one person made Minecraft. Like me, I one person made my. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you see like a Rocksteady backed by Warner Bros. One idea is like crazy because a million people are just automatically gonna go to your one idea just because it's not even about anything. They don't. A million people is gonna go buy a Suicide Squad game or a Batman adjacent game or a Justice League or a Superman game just cause, you know what I'm saying? And then having something good, like original behind it is all we asked for.
Yeah.
That's all we asked for is like
That's true.
just have something behind it. You know what I mean? Like we're here. We're always gonna buy your shit. Like shut up. Like we're always gonna buy your shit. You know what I mean? Like always. Like if it's good and you stop dicking us over, like we're always gonna buy it. We're always like, yes, drop a DLC, drop an expansion. Like stop worrying about your sales. Stop worrying about your current sales, your projected sales. Like drop something that makes you fucking cry. Like do something. Like really drop something. Like create something good. You know what I mean? Because like that's what it's supposed to do, and that's how you get the people back. You know what I mean? You're not gonna get it back by saying like, "Ah, damn, we thought we'd win them over with Joker, and nobody likes the Joker DLC, so no one's gonna like the Deathstroke DLC." Like, what's the logic? Like, no, it's like, damn, the real logic, the real artist logic behind it is like, damn, they ain't even like the Joker DLC, bro. I'm just getting started. Like, this shit's about to cook up. Joker was just the teaser. It's just Joker. Like, we wasn't gonna really start with that nigga. Like, he was just there to like bring people back in case they left. They should be hype. They should be hype. They should be ready to turn the tables. You know what I mean? Like they're the underdogs. Like, hey, the Mr. Freeze shit is about to cook. No pun intended. Like this shit is about to be cold. It's about to be cool as fuck. It's about to be lit. Whatever. You know what I mean? It's about to be dope. Like they should really have faith. The fact that they probably don't have faith in anything they're about to drop is because they probably know it's half-baked or half-assed or both. You know what I mean? And it's like, damn, because it's right there. Like, just drop an offline game with the same story with a bunch of online content after you beat the offline story, and then you keep dropping paid DLC. Paid DLC, paid DLC, paid DLC, paid DLC, paid DLC. Like, it's so easy. Like, that's all MMOs do. Like,
I don't know why they don't do it, but
like, instead, they're in the negatives every single day. Every day, they're losing money. Every single day, they lose money because they have to keep the servers up. Every day, they lose money, bro. It's not affordable. And everything is going this way. Music, everything is going to streaming. Everything is going to live service. Everything, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy. Shit is crazy, bro.
Shit is crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's almost depressing. I hope things change, bro. Or I hope someone takes advantage of this. Whatever.
I mean, the bubble will pop eventually, bro. It's like, I mean, it's kind of deflating already. You know what I'm saying? With so many live services closing last year.
Yeah.
And it's continuing into this year, so we'll see.
We'll see. But, yep, that was Suicide Squad. Not a good game, but a fun one if you like DC games, and I think that's about it.
That's about, what number rating would you give Suicide Squad out of 10?
Unbiased, like a 5 or a 4.
Okay, that's fair.
Like, great story, great gameplay, but like, this shit is lazy.
I respect it.
But on a bias scale, I give it a 7.
7. I probably would give it a 7 too.
I give it a 7.
I'd probably
Like,
give it a
hey,
7.
bro, if I can play this shit with my friends, and you keep updating this shit, and it gets better, like, you can make me a fan. Like, I'm willing to be a fan of this shit. You know what I mean? Like, Gotham Knights, you lost me, bro. Shut up. Go home. You're done.
Yeah,
you're
done.
cooked. You're packed.
You're done.
Stop. You know what I mean? Diablo 4, you're done. You're packed. Go home. You lost me too. A lot of games, I don't get that opportunity to. You know what I'm saying? Andromeda. No, I'm just playing. But Suicide Squad, I'm like, hey, keep cooking. Like, go back to the kitchen. Like, you ever seen Iron Chef?
Yeah.
And like, you know how he's hard on everybody, but then like that one person he'll be randomly like kind of nice to, and you'll be like, damn, I didn't expect that. That's how I feel about Suicide Squad, where I'm like, bro, I know what you can do. Like, you can drop something that's just amazing through and through. Like, period. You can revolutionize anything. Like, revolutionize live service. Please, I challenge you. I beg you. By the time you get to Deathstroke, I want you to have convinced, not me, but like other people. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see that. Like, I don't think No Man's Sky changed much, in my honest opinion. Like, they've added a lot of stuff, which I think is dope, and they've added it for free, which I think
is crazy.
Is like,
it's like 16. I was reading it was like 16 free DLCs, bro.
Free.
It's crazy.
Free. Completely free. And they've reshaped like their whole concept of the game from start to finish, from the core, where it was never supposed to be like a certain way, and now it's like built around like it was always that, like the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, they did all that. Like, I want to see other games take that. That's live service. That is live service, and it's really like not all that much. No offense to them. Like, it's really not all that much. It really is basically just Minecraft. You know what I mean? Like space Minecraft. Like, it's procedurally generated, and they're just adding like mechs and ships and buildings. Like, that's really what they're doing. But I'm not even hyped for their next game. I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that.
It definitely looks more realistic. No, my problem with No Man's Sky is it looks like a simulation.
Yeah, I need it to feel like a game. I need it to feel like a video game. Which, this game and the next one, like, they stop feeling like video games after a certain point. So, but Suicide Squad, I would love to see them like have that level of commitment. You know what I mean? Because the game has that kind of potential, and it has that much room. Like, the narrative has the multiverse. You can do anything you want. The world itself is basic as fuck, but hey, do something. Like, add some more story stuff. Fix the RPG. Like, add more RPG elements. You know, revisit that, because the skill tree is whack, and like the armor system isn't fun. You know what I mean? Like, go back and like say, how can we keep players having fun while they're doing this over and over? You know what I mean? Go back and start there. Like, in between, like, quality of life updates are a thing. Yeah. You can drop quality of life updates, and they matter to the players. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like, everything counts. You know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna get us back by like another game, or saying, damn, we failed, let's take the game offline. Like, sorry for making a mess, Deadshot. But that's what every live service game that doesn't make bank do. Yeah. So, we'll see. Time will tell, but for now, Suicide Squad is a 4, parentheses 7. That's too high. It's a 4, parentheses 6 out of 10.